Verity, amour. Suffolk, Virginia, Chesapeake, poet, singer, songwriter, dreamed of becoming an artist at the age of 8. Her mom saying she began to sing at 2 and writing at the age of 4. To escape the harsh realities of homelessness, adversity, and feeling the need to mature a little faster, she began her journey to express herself through her art, saying, "If your art doesn't inspire you to grow, you're not doing it right." All things I make for a shining star. I met Verity at a Trippy Tuesday. She didn't perform that night that I met her, but I met her because I was sitting at, like, anybody who's been to Trippy Tuesday inside Conscious Planet, right? There's the bar, right, where they sell drinks at, and there's a refrigerator right next to the bar. I was sitting at the bar in the cut because I just didn't want to be like rubbing shoulders with like random people. And you know, her and her homeboy were hanging out. She's lit. She's having a great time. And like, she's clumsy, right? So she bumps into this refrigerator, and it's almost a carfuffle, bro. Like, it almost knocked over the speaker, some more shit like that. So, I mean, you know, it's sure to be careful, blah. And next thing I know, we're following each other on Instagram. So that's how I met Verity, right? Weird story. When I started looking at her Instagram, I was like, okay, like poetry. Yeah, poetry. I fuck with poetry. Like, I fuck with poetry heavy. Like, comedians and poets have this like balance between us because we're almost doing the same exact thing, right? But our end results are a little bit different, right? So I've always respected poets. But when I got into her poetry, I was like, different, right? She's super different. There's so much vulnerability, pain, and self-awareness that even at her age, like, it's hard to achieve. I'm 29, so I can only imagine how, you know what I'm saying, how deep she has to dive and dig into herself to get these poems. From overcoming poverty, loss of loved ones, and feeling dissatisfied with her circumstances, you can almost feel the imagery of what she's like portraying, right? She's battled so much self-harm, depression, other mental health, like I said, losing a close friend, and, you know, growing up unsure of like where she was going to stay at night, what her situation was going to look like, and so much uncertainty, right? I had a performance on Saturday for this auction called 4 People, and basically the 4 People organization takes in like youth and gives them families and people to lean on and the ability to have stability, right? And I think this was really pivotal in like us getting the Verity amour that we know now. She's very open about her trials and tribulations growing up, and I'm excited to see how, like, as she grows and matures, her perspectives change and she becomes more of who she is as a person, how it's going to shape her art. Like I said about Charlie Angel, like, she has this resilience and this shine, this glow about herself that you wouldn't be able to tell unless you're a traumatized person, right? You really wouldn't be able to tell that she's been through the things that she's been through. Like, you have to really, you know, like, dive into her art or look really deep into her eyes and search for the pain to really, you know what I'm saying? Whenever I see her, she's smiling, she's laughing, she's having a good time, she's dancing around, even if there's no music playing, you know what I'm saying? She's kicking it with her homegirls, she's hyping up the other girls, she's doing this, she's doing that. And that makes for not only a strong and beautiful person, right, but it makes for beautiful art. She hasn't been doing art very long. So it's not that she hasn't been doing art very long, right? And she's super talented already, but she has so far to go if she stays consistent and she stays focused and she stays locked in, that I think I might even be making this video too goddamn early. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might be making this video too early, too preemptive, too this and that. Right, but I do want to share one of the poems that I enjoyed by her a lot. What is this one? I am the epitome of fresh energy. I run myself relentlessly in an attempt to outdo my past. I distract myself from the temptations of tears that I get. From the temptation of my tears that get a grasp of me in the end of the night. I still wake up the next day and do it all again. I am my mistakes. I am the sheets I fell into. I am the anger I hide. I am my own worst enemy. I fight the demons in a ring where only God is watching. He rings the bells on my behalf, echoing in the wind I hear. I make it through this round. Make it just a bit farther to get where you need to be so you can go where you're trying to go. Because nobody gonna take you there. Nobody can fight this for you. And even though this battle is still mine, I'm tagging you in. This was when God tested if I wanted my heaven now or if I was just gonna wait until he let me in. He knew I couldn't wait no more. I've been waiting for 10 years to be free from the chains of my oppressive depression. I've been waiting 9 years to have the chance to make my own way out the hood, but I've been waiting 17 years to see God's face. 3 years ago, I almost did. Those demons in the ring reminded me of my regrets, whatever regrets a 14-year can have. My mouth fell to the floor as my guard went down. When it hit me that I could be everything I didn't want to be in the world, but now I am the epitome of fresh energy. I run myself relentlessly in the attempt to outdo my past, and I do. I write laps around the girls that was addicted to the cutting ditches in her wrist. Those ditches, they keep my tears from flooding. It kept my pain in. I perform my pain now. It drains the confusion in my chest. I scream my pain out. I have no idea how far I came to get here. You have no idea how far I came to get here. How many rounds I lost. You never know, because God had covered my failures. They still grew into my blessings. I like that shit. Stop playing. I like that shit a lot. I like that shit because, everybody has their own battles. When you go through a certain level of trauma and bullshit and like life just not going the way it's supposed to go, right? You get to a place where you can't deny God anymore. And even if you didn't grow up believing, there always comes to a point where it comes to a head and you realize there is nothing in this life that I can do to solve certain problems. There's certain things that are just beyond me. There's certain things that I will never be able to understand. And I think that's the beauty of this poem is like, yeah, I may have been set up from the beginning to lose, but God determines whether I win or not. Right? And as long as I fight my battle, God's going to make sure I'm all right. That's what I got from it. And, like even the parts about the self-harm, right? There's levels to self-harm emotionally, and they self-deprecate physically, like, picking scabs, opening wounds that are trying to heal, cutting yourself, speaking down on yourself, fucking, not being able to accept compliments. These are all ways of self and self-harm. A strong mental makes for a strong path, but also, right, a strong body upholds a strong mind, right? So when you're taking away from that, right, you are taking away a piece of yourself, and you are almost kind of spitting in the face of God. Actually, not even almost, you really are spitting in the face of God, right? God didn't put you on this earth to destroy his creations, whether it be yourself or other people. Yeah, but that's one of my favorite poems from Verity. I've seen her a few places doing poetry since I met her, so you wouldn't miss out if you run into her and she's doing poetry. She also is a singer-songwriter. She doesn't have that many songs released, so we're just highlighting the poetry right now, but you guys need to stay tuned for her next drops. I was just at a studio session she was recording. I love that song. It's a vibe. Can't wait for that one to come out. Her on Instagram and on YouTube. Her Instagram is Verity Amour. Swap the O with a 0. Verity Amour, VERITAMR or AM0UR. And her YouTube is Verity Amour, at Verity Amour Official, spelled conventionally. She got some cool vlogs. Wait, did she delete the vlogs? But she does have her song up here. It's called Moonlight, so you can check that out on YouTube. She had some cool vlogs up here. I don't know why she deleted them. I had to talk to her about that.
you need to keep all your content on your page. If you enjoy the Shining Stars of the 757 series, please go like, comment, and subscribe on the video. If you have an artist that you want me to cover next that's in the 757 or not, drop them and I'll do my research. I love doing this shit. Stay tuned for more content. We don't just do music content around here. We do comedy, we do self-help, we do all kinds of shit. So if you like this video, also go check out one of the other videos that I got on here, whether it be another Shining Star video or any of the other content I posted on this YouTube channel. Yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching. Tim VC, The Alaskan Passion. We're out of here.